morals, so to speak, hey, you're going to be out here naked, which means what? Without a covering, man. And you're going to be given into scourge for a minute. Hey, whether it be actual famine, hey, whether it be a race riot that you die in, pestilence, apparition, hey, your heart failing you for fear. All these different things are going to come upon the earth, and if you aren't spiritually prepared for these plagues, then guess what? You're going to fall victim to them, man. If you're not calling upon the name of Yahweh Shai, hey, while you have liberty, while all hell isn't breaking loose yet, hey, then when that time's come, man, hey, you're gonna be what they say, SOL, man.
Yep, shit out of luck.
Yep.
Let me say this slightly real quick. The situation of them locking down our original spot that we hold camp at, that whole area they got locked down, that's coming, man. Martial law, they're gonna lock down a bunch of shit, man. So this is nothing new, and we've seen what LA, there was a shooting in the market down there. Forgot what it's called.
Grand Central Market.
The Grand Central Market down there, right? And then in New York, Buffalo, New York, that was outside of the grocery store and started lighting Jake up. So you imagine that whole area being locked down as well. So imagine this is gonna start. You're not gonna have to imagine long, but you can see that these things are starting to happen to where they're just gonna start locking areas down. And we're the ones that's most affected by it because one traffic jam. One not being able to operate in one central area or whatever is going to change the way you have to move now. Bus is going to move around, all types of shit that affect us a lot more than the average everyday citizen, so to speak. I'm talking about Edomites and other nations, really. Okay? So this is all going to happen. So you got to have your mind focused on getting this word ASAP, man, because if one day you're not going to be able to get it. Okay?
Right. And on top of that, yeah, you may be getting it, from watching the videos, and Jake may be saying, oh, well, I'm in the comfort of my own home, my family watching and all this, but think about it, man. You have to be exercising wisdom. That's the difference. If all you have is boarded up, but it's never been exercised, you never so-called practice what you preach, then what good is it?
You don't have living
water.
So like, my phone, I had a screenshot of First was saying that people were getting fined or something like that for misinformation.
Yeah.
And how do you deem what's misinformation? Anything that is not a part of the New World Order agenda that the devil setting up. So if you talk about anything about the jab, anything about anti-establishment of what the government is doing, basically what we're telling the truth, what we're saying is going to be deemed misinformation and hate speech. Okay, so you gotta understand that the time is short for you to get this thing. They're gonna cut YouTube, man. They're gonna cut all these streams that we're on. They're gonna cut the fucking internet, man. What do you think is gonna happen? It's just gonna continue this way, then it's gonna go back. It ain't going back. That's why we're out here. The prophets are telling you that the Heavenly Father is tired of this place. It's time for it to go down. The liberty's open for you to get it now before it's too late.
Yeah, even how the Lord works, He may have it to where you have a certain breakdown all written down, but you can't understand it no more, man. So it's about, hey, that's how the Lord works. Because the feminine word means what? It's a scarcity of it, man. It's going to only dwell within the spirits of the elect.
Was that Philip?
Yeah. Right.
You got it?
Okay, come.
Amos.
So back in Amos 8:12, it says, and they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it.
Get it? Yeah, that's the point. God, that's Acts. What's that? Is that where it's at? It's Amos 8. No, I got it. Yeah, come on.
About him being guided?
Yeah.
Acts 8.
It's Amos 8.
Yeah, Acts. Hey man, because the Yahweh Shai is right now, and while everything is still open, still running, everything is so-called calm at the moment. As we always say, you got running water. And we understand that unicorn was built for this purpose, for knowledge to increase. Hey, but what after that avenue, that medium is shut down, man? hey, because right now this is mercy for you, mercy and mercy for y'all, but you know, Shah still have the internet rolling. But we understand, hey, our videos get taken down all the time. I just had a video get taken down this morning. You know, so these things are going to happen.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 8 and verse 30. And Philip ran thither to him
Can you one?
and heard him read the prophet Isaiah and said, understandest thou without reading?
Walk through.
Basically saying, oh, do you understand what you're reading?
You can walk through.
Do you get it? Is it making sense to you? Right?
And he said, how can I, except some man should guide me? And he desired Philip that he would come up and sit with him.
God, how can I accept a man lead me or guide me? Hey, because when you're out on the highways and hedges, it may be a simple breakdown into the prophets. Hey, but the scriptures talk about how it's milk, man. How we may have to break something down into layman terms, so to speak, man. The average person can't understand it. So you have to be not spoon fed, but you have to be led into the meal, man. You know, and most importantly, Yahweh Shem Shah is to open your eyes for you to understand.
Quick analogy, man. Imagine somebody hands you a plate that's got bread and a big piece of T-bone steak, and I ain't gonna say all that other stuff, but you know, stuff like that on the plate. A baked potato is wrapped in foil. You can't just bite into all of this. You just start chewing. You're gonna have to somebody gonna have to show you.
You can walk through. It's cool.
You gonna walk through y'all?
Appreciate it anyway. Thank you.
Yeah.
But you're gonna have to show somebody have to show you how to cut it down, the right size to cut down. That's what we're here to do with these scriptures. This is literally a meal.
Yeah.
And the most important thing is to have a steady diet of milk, man, as your foundation. So if you're used to digesting milk, then a little bit of meat, a little bit of bread, a little bit of water, all these things, a little bit of wine, all these things begin to make sense in a bigger scale. And then you can start eating the heavy meat and all of that stuff. You know?
That's right. 'Cause like you said, if you take too much chunk of one particular thing, hey, you can choke yourself, man.
You bite into a baked potato, or steak or something,
Yeah,
bro.
it may be too hot to eat at the moment. Hey, your understanding may not be on that level of understanding to digest it yet. You know, you can bug yourself out.
You don't give a baby meat.
Yeah, somebody can get Hebrews 5 and 12. What is the first principles of the oracles of the Most High? You got to start with the basics, man. You know, hey, Christianity ain't been giving you the basics. They've been giving you dogma.
Yeah.
They've been giving you straight up GMO fries from McDonald's, man. They ain't been giving you a real nutritional meal. Baby formula, basically Similac, man.
No nutrients, all types of shit that's gonna destroy you in the long run. Your brain not they say it's supposed to have brain developing things, but now when they give you that Christianity, man, they developing you in a whole nother wrong way.
Totally malnourished, man.
It's kind. Just look at the babies after they grow up. Then they're so-called diagnosed with things like ADHD. You know, then they end up getting on medication. Which is, medication is Similac is still medication. It's just at a lower dosage for an infant. You know, because it doesn't help with age. Because when you look at breast milk, right? And sometimes it may be of a certain thickness. You know, in order for that baby to digest it, or the certain nutrients and enzymes to be pushed into the body. You know, but Similac is just straight powdered chemical. Man.
That's Christianity. You're in the Christian church. You grew up thinking in the hell doctrine. You believe that? You believe everybody can make it.
Love everybody.
God loves everybody. That's the wrong food. That's the wrong food. You've been eating the wrong food all day. You know. You want me to read that?
I can get it.
It's Hebrews 5 and 12. It says, for the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of Yahweh, and are become such as have need of milk and not of strong meat.
And that's correlating right to where the brothers reading. In Acts the 8th chapter, when that Ethiopian eunuch sitting in a chariot, he was reading Isaiah the 53rd chapter. You know, he was kind of stuck because that was a bit of meat for him. You know, so Philip had to pretty much, you know, break it down to him, you know, basically chop it up so that he can actually digest it better, you know. So that's pretty much how you come in. That's how you get weaned off the milk. drawn from the breast, man. You know, you gotta have somebody teach you, and it takes for you to be humble. You gotta humble yourself and know that, you know, the things that you think you know, you don't know. That's why it says that in 1 Corinthians 8. If any man think if he knoweth a thing, he knoweth nothing as he ought to know. All right? Yeah, finish that and then you can go back to his brief. It's back on the line.
Verse 13. Everyone that useth milk is unskillful in the word of righteousness, for he is a babe. It says, for everyone that useth milk is unskillful in the word of righteousness, for he is a babe.
He is a babe. He has to be grown up, man. And that growing process starts with the milk. It starts with the foundation, man. And that proper foundation is built. And once you have proper teachers, man, you know, because everybody isn't fit to hold the words of Yahweh Shai. Hey, you go into the scriptures that says, hey, some men subvert whole doctrines, you know, keeping unto themselves fables, you know. Hey, you got Israelites out here that's not teaching Jake the whole truth. Hey, which is really just doing the same bidding really as the Christian church, man. Because this is supposed to revive you, it's supposed to quicken you, you're supposed to get filled, man. Then you're supposed to what? You're supposed to bring forth action through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai. You know?
Verse 14. But strong meat belongeth to them that are a full age.
Those that are seasoned, man. One thing that the apostles always reoccurring to brothers that may be watching is, well, if you know a breakdown, hey, that's good, man. Learn that breakdown and you can be able to teach it. But God on that, make sure you're in front of the men of the Lord, man. Make sure you're learning. Go to your nearest city. Hey, because the brothers is out there diligent every week through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai, man. But hey, that process of building starts, hey, once you're in front, man. Once you actually appear. Because look, it's just a complete difference from being in the inside out to the outside in. You're able to see way clearer. You're starting to see, hey, how roles are established, you know, order within the camp, you know, brothers' duties and jobs if they're not reading things of that sort. That's all part of you being built up in the spirit, honestly. You know? Because you understand that this isn't about you, but it's about a bigger role that you're playing, man. Hey, you're ushering in Yahweh Shai, man, as John the Baptist did. You know?
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 3, from verse 1. And I, brethren, could not speak unto you as unto spiritual, but as unto carnal, even as unto babes in Mashiach Yahushua. Right? I have fed you with milk and not with meat. For hereto ye were not able to bear it, neither yet now are you able.
Can you read that again?
Verse 2 says, I have fed you with milk and not with meat.
I fed you with the foundation, so not with the things that are too spiritually mature for you, man. You know?
For hitherto ye were not able to bear it, neither yet now are you able.
A topic like reincarnation, it may be too much for a brother that's just learning, man. You know? Why?
But it is an integral part of getting a bigger understanding.
It's an integral part of getting an understanding, but you gotta be built up with, okay, who are you? You know, who is Yahweh Shai coming back for? You know, what nation? Why? What is the judgment for the other nations? Prove that he's not coming back for the other nations. Those are milk things that you must learn first before getting into the heavier parts of the scriptures, man.
For the other tribes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, and it's easy now when we first came in. It was just, everybody looked like a Negro. You know? Now we see all types of brothers with all different types of orders.
But that's a piece that it became needed. Because why? Because now you're seeing brothers that may not look like so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And they're out there, hey, believing, you know, pushing the word. Hey, 100%. Yeah, in the proper name, man. So that's a stumbling block to certain things. Oh, well, why he look like that? Jake not understanding the diaspora, man, the dispersion. That's milk. You know?
That's why Yahweh Shai said, blessed is he that's not offended in me.
Yep.
He already knew that a lot of Jake was going to get offended at, you know, the teachings. Because his teachings were spiritual, it went over Jake's head. You know, so when they would take some of his messages literal and couldn't understand the spiritual message behind it, they would get offended. That's why you had that crowd of Jakes when he said that,
Oh, yeah.
you know, he compared, you know, the word to basically